strategy and product innovation. What I'm talking about today in my presentation is the why and how of business planning, and then we'll take a look at the questions that you have submitted, which I've had a look at and had a think about. We've had a bit of a chat with the team this morning on a couple of those as well. So we've got everyone's input, and I encourage you when we get to the Q&A stage to have input as well and share what it is you're doing and your thoughts on those topics and questions. Aspects of business strategy and product innovation that we're covering in the recorded 10-minute presentation from 2 weeks ago, we looked at COVID digital trends and opportunities, and they are available for you to access, those pre-recordings. The session today, I'm going to look at the why and how of business planning, and then we'll look at these different aspects of business planning over future sessions. So to answer this question, first of all, and it's an important question, is, what is a business plan and how it can help your business? Because we can get very tied up with the notion of business planning. And when you look at different business planning templates, it can suck the life out of you. Your energy can just leave the room because it can be so detailed and busy. And I don't know if any of you have ever had that experience where you've downloaded a business plan template and thought, oh my God, it's going to take a month of Sundays. Is it really worthwhile? And the other thing that we know, I know most of you have experience in small business or have your own small businesses. A lot of small businesses start without a formal plan in place, and that's perfectly fine. Small businesses kick off without a formal business plan, and we're full of enthusiasm when we start our businesses. We're full of passion. We know what we want to do, and so it's a very light, ideas that we jot down, back of the envelope kind of stuff sometimes, and that absolutely works in a lot of cases for startups. What research shows us is that after a couple of years in business, that's when a business plan often becomes much more desirable, because what happens is as a business owner, you start to wonder about, well, how do I really eke out growth in this business? How do I ensure its sustainability in the future? And if you've lasted those first 2 years, you're through, a lot of those hard yards, and you've also come to understand about how best your customers respond to your different types of products and services and where you can make money. So that's why when a business has got a little bit of history, business plan becomes even more important. I'm sure that you have heard the adage that Winston Churchill said, that he who fails to plan is planning to fail. And, why do we think that's true? Why do people sort of resonate with that and attach to that? In my opinion, it's because when you create a good plan, it brings clarity to you. In developing the plan, doing your research part of it, coming up with some clear goals and strategies, you have aha moments where you go, okay. And it allows you to distill down, rather than thinking there's so much I could be and should be doing. You can really crystallize down into a few goals and strategies. And by doing that, that really gives you the ability to move forward, as opposed to sort of being stuck with, it's a whole lot of stuff I could and should be doing. So to me personally, that's what I get out of it. And we're actually going through business planning again for our own businesses right now. Starting it in January is a good time of year for us to do that, because things are just a little bit quieter, and we've got time to work through it, as opposed to it being a really kind of rushed experience. And I think that's really important. The other thing that I think comes out of creating a business plan is you get clear on the strategy, like, and we're going to be working through these components over the next sessions. What's your vision for the business? When you look back in 15 years, what legacy do you want to have left? What good do you want to have done for who? What's your mission? So what's the core of your business about? What is it that you do? And what are your goals? This is the strategy side of business planning. And then you have the operational and the resource side. So what resources are you going to need? Regardless of the people in your business, what skills and roles do you need? What is the financial side of it? So, what budget are you going to have? And what is the marketing approach that you're going to have to take? Underneath sits your business model. We've seen in COVID a lot of transitions of business models where businesses have gone for the first time, hey, I'm going to have an e-commerce business model. I haven't done that before. I'm going to convert, and I'm going to, oh, gee, I could change the types of things I sell. So, you know, that business model piece sits underneath all of that. But for me, when you do business planning, it's a combination of strategy and operation and resources that really is gold, because what happens is that your strategy will then inform the operational side and the resources that you need. So once again, it's that clarity piece. And instead of going, well, I've got these people and I've got this money, what could I do? It's more, well, this is where I want to take the business over the next few years. What do I need? So I think that's really an important element of it. The other thing for me is that planning enables growth. And I love this equation, and I've tested it with random numbers in a spreadsheet. There are 3 levers you can pull in business if you're looking for growth. And it's a combination of things. And isn't life like that and business like that? That it's like it's never one thing that gives you success. It's a combination of things. If you can get 20% more customers, as well as improve your margins by 20%, so whether that is tweaking price or reducing costs, add to that a 20% greater spend by your customer base, that equates to 73% growth. And it was a business strategist that introduced me to that equation, and I went, really? And I tested it with numbers, and it's true. So it's quite inspirational, I think, if you're looking for growth and sustainability in your business, to bear in mind it's going to be a combination of things. It's not going to be a single thing, and that these things work together. And you can see, you know, we talk a lot about marketing in the Queensland Business Revival program and the courses you have access to in these sessions. And marketing obviously is a big part of that, to pull those levers with more customers and getting them to spend more, so higher level of conversion. But the margins piece is an operational piece, isn't it? About setting price and understanding your customers, but also about where you can save money as well. Another thought I'd like to get us to think about is who should be involved in your business planning. If you're going to set about developing a fresh business plan, dusting off any old plan you may have had, reviewing that, working out what you've learned from that, and starting fresh. And, you know, really, gosh, you can be doing that every year and should be reviewing your business plan every year. Who should be involved in your business planning? Who I think is the number one input to it. You know, in today's business environment, and what we're taught by the experts is that your customers at the heart of your planning. It's the heart of your business, isn't it? We don't have customers, we don't have a business. And so we need to bring them to the centre of our research and our thinking. And if we think about traits of entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs who start and sell businesses and succeed and fail, what do they tell us is, you know, one of the things that is a common thread in all of their characteristics is that they're always seeking to improve customer experience. That's a common trait of entrepreneurs. So we hear that. We know that our customers are our most valuable thing. We learn when we look at our online reputation, how important that is. And we can find insights from what people are saying about us and our business in our online reputation and the type of service and products we deliver. So our customers are gold in this process, and we will look at that in the session in a fortnight when we do the research and analysis phase of business planning, just how important that customer is. So thinking of ways to draw on that customer knowledge. This may be, if you're embarking on renewing your business plan, is now it's the time to go out and survey your customers and, you know, engage them in the process about how you're going to, refresh your products or services. What is it you really need to understand what it is they love about what you do. So they have to be part of this process, even if it's not an active role, it's drawing the insights from them. It also values them. Going out and asking their opinions values them. Of your team knows your business. That team might just be you and your business partner, or it could be you and your advisor or consultant or your accountant. But doing it in solo is going to be a much narrower outcome than if you can involve somebody else who's going to challenge your thinking, get you to think more objectively, get you outside of your own headspace of, well, this is what I think. What does your market think, and what are the trends that we're seeing? Business partners, you could be in collaboration with people. It could be supply partners, it could be distribution partners. They may not have an active role, but you certainly need, their consideration in here. And then, of course, the owners of the business, which could be yourself, or you could have other shareholders. So I think it's very much a team approach, but having simple tools to guide you through it that everybody can follow is really important. And, I have looked at a lot of different business planning templates. As I said at the beginning of this session, I found some of them really tedious and boring. And I don't believe that business planning should be a boring process. I think it should be creative. I think it should be fun. I think it should be collaborative. This is where you get to really think of the ideas and dream and imagine what you can do with your business. So you want a good tool that encourages that. I'm not saying that our tool is the best, but the tool that we use in our own business, and we're using it right now, and we have refined for your use, is the one that's available to you in the business planning course on your dashboard. So if you come into your dashboard and you go to business planning for revival, just open that up in a new tab. You'll see me just talking a little bit about the course there for a few minutes. But in here, there's not a lot of content to read, which is why it's only an hour to digest this. Obviously, it's going to take you longer to actually use the template and do it. Let's see if I've opened that up. Yes, I have. There is one lesson and 2 topics in here. So it's a little bit about what I've covered. The first one about why business planning is important. But then what we have is getting into the templates for you. So we explain the breakdown of our template, and this is what we're going to work through over the next couple of weeks. And under the materials tab is are the templates that you can get to. I've already got this template open here so you can see it. And this is the one, as I said, that we've refined over the years to try to come up with some really simple ones that I'm going to be working through different sections over the next few sessions. So that's available to you there with lots of tips and hints on how to use it. So thinking about those things I've just shared with you, what do you think your actions will be whilst you're in this program and over the next fortnight? Would you go and find your previous plan, if you had one, or any kind of, parameters that you wrote down about your business, and dust that off and review it? Think about what it is that you have achieved over the course since you wrote that plan. What has happened in your business that you didn't expect? What have you learned from that? Because all that good thinking that you did back then, you don't want to lose that. The last thing I want you to do is trash that and let's just start again. It's worthwhile sitting down with a cup of coffee and having a look at that. And then I'd suggest to you, if you are looking to develop a new business plan and set you on a course of growth and sustainability for the future, and you'd like to follow along with my tips on doing that over the next couple of months, then review that business planning for revival course and the template ready for the research and analysis sections, because you might be able to do some pre-work in advance of that. So now what I'd like to do is flip it around to your turn and have a look at the questions that have been asked in advance of this session. And quite a few of you said, I'm just listening in, I just want to hear what others have got to say, and that's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to stop share there and we'll move into gallery view.